everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we got Burden of Performance from It's Complicated. I had subscribed to this channel maybe about like a couple weeks ago, and then whenever I got a chance I was just gonna check out the most recent video, so I don't forget. But I just be seeing clips from this channel here and there, and I'm like, let me go ahead and check it out. Thank you for having your microphone, your logo, and your brand on your microphone. Cause I'm like, what channel is this? I'm like, okay, I can see it on the microphone. But I watched the first like 30 seconds of this. Hopefully, it goes in an interesting way, and I didn't pick a bad selection of videos. But ready to jump into this. But before you do, make sure you thumbs up and subscribe, and let's get it. All right, bro. Listen, I'm be honest. I had to cut Shawty out in the beginning. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get through this without losing brain cells. So she gonna have to get pushed to the side.
It's said that men have a burden of performance that women don't. Who assigns them that burden, and isn't that the problem right there?
Men do. They compete with each other.
I guess it's society kind of that assigns that burden, or maybe they do it to themselves.
Well, I mean, we kind of do have a burden to perform because there's more competition with men.
Exactly.
Women, men, they love women. Women can never do wrong. Men do and should work harder, because if you are going to get in a relationship, whether it's long-term, short-term, you have to provide. You have to be a provider. You have to be ready for that next step.
Why is the man's provider gender role more demanding than the woman's was, is, or ever will be?
That's hard. Because I think women have less defined roles in society nowadays. I think they could kind of float and do whatever they want.
Just pick and choose.
To be a provider economically. That's pretty much the difference. Is women have, the choice. They could kind of be the house mom and do that type of thing, or they could do it for themselves and provide for themselves. A man that doesn't work and doesn't provide or doesn't have a family doesn't have much value in today's society.
Is the pressure greater on men to be successful or on women to be beautiful?
They expect women to be beautiful throughout their life.
I would say men to be successful, because I feel like now we've kind of moved over to society saying like every woman is beautiful. So I think there's more of a pressure for men to be successful.
See, I was about to say beautiful, because I'm like, when it comes to successful men, like, if you're not successful, you're just gonna get left behind. It is what it is, like. But that's a good point.
Beautiful. So I think there's more of a pressure for men to be successful and be the provider.
Cause nowadays, listen, if you're a 2, like, they still gonna say, you go queen, you're beautiful, like, don't let them bring you down. Bruh, it kills me when it'll be it'll be a 2 max. You're a 2.5 on a good day, and your ego is through the roof
Of the household.
I don't know. I think I might say women to be beautiful, just because I think that, like, if I were to go out and like meet a guy, I mean, my assumption and my experience is that he would have to think I'm beautiful for me even to find out if he's successful.
Wait, what?
That he would have to think I'm beautiful for me even to find out if he's successful.
Okay. But hold on, I'm gonna let it continue.
The average man's salary in the U.S. is $40,000. The average woman in the U.S. weighs 170 pounds. Why is there a fat acceptance movement for women, but there's no broke acceptance movement for men?
Exactly.
Oh man, that's deep. That's deep. And there's just as unattractive features. As much as a low-income man is unattractive to women, overweight women are unattractive to a large swath of the male population. I think, you know, a lot of us have to settle for what's out there. Not myself, but
we're expected as men to kind of like settle for a woman as she is. Why don't women typically settle for a man as
take
he
me
is?
as I am. Like, stop
I don't think there's a correlation. I think like women can be beautiful no matter what shape or size they come in. But
see, I'm not all the way there. Like, listen, if you're overweight, you're automatically, you know, but it's gonna drop you down. It is what it is. Now, granted, if you like way over, then you're automatically down. It is what it is. You can have a cute face, but if you look like Bowser, you can't get near me.
But I don't think men that don't have money are being like discriminated against.
No, they're just being ignored.
Are born with value because as I'm an adult grown woman now, men love my feet, men love my ass, men love my hair or
not
other
your voice,
attributes.
Be honest.
Where men can put themselves in that position, but if they aren't those type of guys, then if they're not naturally built, then they do have to create it.
Why don't women have a burden of performance to become better partners if they don't want to be viewed as a mere sexual object?
That's a good question. I think that's it needs to be. Women need to be more held accountable if they want to be viewed as being equal. They should have just as much responsibility and you know, if they want to have the say-so, they need to have the responsibility and do half the work.
Because I do think that there's a level of hypocrisy in my gender, unfortunately.
Like, what do you mean?
Okay.
As women, I do think that we want it all, but we don't necessarily want to have to like admit any sort of change that needs to happen on our behalf. I mean, I probably need to change, but
So how
okay.
do we fix that?
Give it 100 years.
100 years.
Well,
So
doesn't that mean
after
that a
you're
lot of
gone,
women
like,
are gonna die lonely cat ladies?
They could.
For sure.
I might.
Who cares more about masculinity, men or women?
I would say women.
Are men conditioned by other men to act a certain way?
100%.
Yes, 110%. I think it's a big contest sometimes between men, and they try to act
Everything,
like it's for
life is a
women, but really
contest,
it's,
not a contest.
they're pitting
Competition.
themselves against each other.
Are women conditioned by other women to act a certain way?
Win or get left behind.
I don't think so.
What is the question?
Are women conditioned by other women to act a certain way?
I don't think so. Not as much. There's more of a freedom.
I wouldn't say conditioned, but
It just
definitely cheered on.
Influence.
Does a man have the right to define what a woman is?
No.
So then what gives women the right to define what a real man is?
Facts.
They don't. But at the same time, it might help a man get what they want from a woman.
If we're talking about what we're willing to date and marry, of what we consider, what we deem a worthy woman to marry or have children with or whatever.
Okay.
But I don't think we have the right to define the role of what is a woman.
Why do women think they have the right to define what a real man is?
Don't say they don't.
That's a very common used term with women, yeah. I think because it's kind of like a dig on men to, you know, like we were talking about masculinity. It's kind of like a dig to make a man feel less than, to say he's not a man or whatever, or he's not. And the same connotation really doesn't work with women. You don't tell a woman if she can't cook or clean or do any of the traditional womanly roles or take care of kids. You don't tell her that she's not a woman. So it is like a double standard for sure.
Who gets
It's like you get to pick and choose who you want to be, but you got to be a certain way. Now you could be something else, but you're gonna get no opportunity. It is what it is. Like I just stay to myself. I improve every single day until when I'm like, all right, it's time to go crazy. It's time to do my thing. Now, if any opportunities come our way, which I'm being realistic, 95% of the time it ain't gonna happen. But right now is grinding time. It's especially nowadays, that's what you gotta do. There is no other way around it.
Decide what a man should or should not be.
Well, actually, there is a way around it. You're gonna have to get the ones who settle, And then after that, after the kids come through, you either gonna have to hold that divorce, or you either gonna have to deal with a depressing sexless marriage. I didn't hear your question, bro. I'm not just gonna.
Should or should not be.
Standard for sure.
Who gets to decide what a man should or should not be?
The man.
The man himself gets to decide what he wants to be or what he doesn't want to be for his own self, but not for anyone else.
Who gets to decide what a man should or should not be?
The Bible.
Who is more attractive, liberal or conservative men, and why?
Unfortunately,
I don't even be getting in.
I would say conservative.
I don't even be getting in politics, so
Well, we're gonna
I'll be
disagree.
honest.
We're definitely going
I have no
Conservative,
clue.
definitely.
Liberal, because I like a man who supports women and supports a lot of things that conservative men just don't.
And I like a manly man, and I like the blue-collared, hard-working man.
Okay.
I would say that conservative men tend to adopt the traditional idea of what a man is. So they're strong and they're,
Liberal men. They usually have a more open mind, I think.
And I think they actually care about people more.
Yeah.
I think a lot of Republicans care about money, and liberal men are definitely more progressive and open-minded and just better in general, in my opinion.
What's the difference between feminist women shaming men for being men and traditional women shaming men for not being real men?
Tradcons are undercover feminists.
Wouldn't that equate modern misandry to feminism and traditional misandry to chivalry?
Yes.
Don't both place women at a status above men?
Feminism is a woman's supremacy movement.
Thank
What are
you.
your thoughts on the following statement? Women are born with value.
See, it's like
men have to create their value.
I'm be honest. It is what it is. But what was I saying? Oh, see, a lot of things start off positive, and then after a certain point, it just gets ridiculous when it comes to feminism, when it comes to civil rights, whatever it may be. You reach a point where it's just like, all right, bro, you're doing too much. Like being, growing up and you get looks like, oh, you like that white girl, bro? Come on, dude. Like, this is not the 60s. This is not the 50s, bro. Let's be for real.
It's true.
What if I told you some races are born with value, others have to create their value? Would that be okay?
It's true. I don't know if it's okay.
How is that not bigotry?
It is.
Why is saying men have to create their value not sexist?
It is sexist.
Are men typically born with the muscles, money, and status that attract most women?
Yeah, no.
If men are more likely to work for their value, don't they deserve more respect for that?
Absolutely.
If men have to accept that they need to work harder in the dating market, why can't women accept that they need to work harder in the job market?
I think men opted out.
I mean, personally, I don't agree with that. In societal terms, you're probably right. It's like because we touched on the economic issue, and a woman could easily not have money and just meet a rich man if she's gorgeous. And yeah, I get the point of that. But me personally, I would never buy too much into just looks. There's more to people than that.
What if I told you that some races are born with?
Let's be honest, bro. If they don't look good, they're getting no types of attention. It don't like. It's just certain things in certain points. All right. Listen, she can have a 10 out of 10 personality. If she look like a 2, she don't exist to me. It is what it is. Same way as like. Now, all right. Would it be someone who accept a ugly chick and she got a 10 out of 10 personality? Maybe. But the same way as when it comes to men, listen, if you're not at a certain level, you got to understand you're going to have to work until you get to that level.
Value other races.
Or there's more to people than that.
What if I told you that some races are born with value, other races have to create their value? Would that be okay?
No, it's not okay. It's not true. You know, the individual creates his value every day by his actions.
Certain races are more valuable than the other. It's definitely true that happens, and that's a big part of racism and a lot of the issues that we still face today and have not overcame yet.
So then why would it not be a problem when that applies to men? Because men aren't typically born with the muscles, money, and status that attract most women. So that's basically saying that men aren't valuable until they achieve those things.
Did I say that beforehand? I don't agree with that. I think that everyone is valuable in their own ways, and regardless of your social status or your gender identity or your sexual orientation or whatever. But no, I don't think the material things that you own or have access to define your value as a person.
So then why is saying men have to create their value not sexist?
It is sexist.
Shoddy.
That you own or have. But no, I don't think the material things that you own or have access to define your value.
Maybe not define, but it's for sure an aspect of displaying. Like, bruh. Homeboy playing. I don't know why I just brought that back, dude. Homeboy gaming all day, not really doing anything. Maybe work like 30 hours a week at some random job. He's getting no types of attention unless from that gaming that he doing, he making money from it. If not, say goodbye.
As a person.
So then why is saying men have to create their value not sexist?
It is sexist.
I'm gonna be honest, bro. If you had the red beard with it, you'll look just like Jadena.
So then why is saying men have to create their value not sexist?
It is sexist, you know. But like we were saying earlier, it's not just women that hold men to that standard, it's other men.
It's not sexist because
brother.
is an expectance from men when you get in a relationship. Women, we focus on an ideal man, we need a provider. Because if we end up in a situation carrying your child or anything other of that sort, you need to be
I thought
able
you
to
hold the
provide.
power.
So that's why men do.
Why do we need to do
create
that?
value.
You hold the power, right?
Does a woman provide children for every man she dates?
No.
Hell no.
So until that woman is having that man's kids, why does he need to provide anything?
Because if he wants the perks of being in a relationship where she has options, she doesn't have to be with you, she's just choosing to be with you.
So basically, wouldn't that mean that
she
in
really
order for
thought
a man to
she
get the
went off.
perks, aka sexual access, he basically has to submit to the woman's terms?
I do think it is a two-way street because she has to play
now it's
her
two-way.
part to earn his value, but it shouldn't be accepted that he just expects his sexual favors just for being him.
Are women doing men a favor by giving them sex?
No. I mean,
I thought it was sexual favors.
yes and no. That's a hard one, actually.
What's the difference between a woman telling a man, I'm not your property, and a man telling a woman, I'm not your provider?
There's really no difference.
I was gonna say Waller.
Property would be like you own the person. I don't think anybody is owned, but if they're the provider and they're saying that they're owning it.
Yeah, I mean, you're asking what's the difference between it?
Well, in other words, why should a man have responsibility without authority?
Well, because,
okay.
well, statistically, I mean, men have had that for hundreds of years, and women have never had the authority to be their own person.
Yeah, I think it's just basic respect not to be treated like an object, whether you're the provider or not. It's not.
There's a lot of roles that the women play as well.
Yeah.
Like that
Such as?
mindset of women are your property leads like to sexual violence and.
I was not ready for these questions. I honestly, I feel like it's the same thing. I do. I feel like it's the same thing. As women, we look at men as providers, and as men, sometimes they can be very possessive and very dominant. And from that standpoint,
that's just how it happens. I don't know why exactly.
Why should a man have responsibility without authority?
She's like, fuck. Damn it, you got me. Even old girl on the side. She's like, oh, okay.
Why should a man have responsibility without authority?
Over who?
In other words, if a woman expects a man to provide, doesn't he have the right to set down some ground rules?
Of course.
So then wouldn't that mean that she's his property in a sense?
No,
all right, I don't know about all that.
So how would you clarify that?
Well, I think in a relationship, there's always compromise that's going to need to happen. So if there's a prearranged agreement that a man is going to provide, that's an agreement that needs to be made between the two of them, and that by no means makes the woman his property whatsoever.
Well, in other words, like a lot of women might feel like the guy's being controlling if he says, hey, I don't want you going out dressed like that. I'm trying to look out for your well-being. Or your
That's better way of putting it.
So then would it be okay for a woman to expect a man to be responsible for her, for her?
Not necessarily. I mean, just because you're like paying bills doesn't mean you can tell someone like what they can and can't wear.
It's cool, but you just gonna be out the door like
property at this point.
There's always gonna be a level of misogyny.
She a little much. I ain't gonna lie.
Masculinity. It's a double-edged sword. I think women kind of understand that dynamic, and you see with Andrew Tates and these type of guys that are labeled as misogynists, they still have no shortage of female suitors that are totally into that would rather be in a submissive state and be dominated by a very masculine personality.
Is giving birth more of a privilege or burden for women?
Burden.
It's both, because it messes with your body a little bit, but on another level, you're bringing another human being into the world.
I think it's a blessing. It is a privilege. It's a blessing. Some women think it's a burden because they're selfish about their own bodies, and that's how I feel. Because I think it's a blessing. Every child is a blessing. I was
gonna say you say that until
is providing
if
for
what happened to you.
Privilege or burden for men?
You could argue it's both.
Providing for a family more of a privilege or burden for men?
You could argue it's both.
Every man should be proud to take care of your family, no matter what. I'll drop everything to do it. I'll give everything to do it. I'll give my own soul, just like Jesus did.
How likely are men to leave if their wife can't bear children?
They do.
No, I don't think it's likely. Most men don't even want kids.
I think that most
Listen,
men
you gotta be the
children,
one.
At least in my experience, they'd be fine with adopting or any of the in
Nah,
vitro,
it's still gonna
like
be
that.
my blood, but
How likely are women to stay if their man can't provide?
They don't.
Yeah,
they have
I
to
don't know
go.
too many that's gonna stay.
Okay, so then wouldn't providing for a family be more of a burden for a man?
No, not really.
Well, I mean, it's a responsibility. If he doesn't meet that responsibility, she's gonna leave, right?
Yeah, that she obligated to leave. She can leave if she feel like he's not gonna provide, but I don't think it's a burden.
How does being masculine help men who are screwed over by the family court system?
Oh man, that's great. I don't think it helps at all. I think if you're too masculine, you're seen as obtrusive and aggressive and all these negative traits that are actually scary traits, or would make you look like an abuser or make less trustworthy with the child and all these things. So yeah, it's actually bad to be super masculine.
Listen, if I'm in that situation, it don't care how my personality is. I'm going in that bit. Listen, they gonna have to give me an Oscar, man.
It doesn't help them at all.
No, that's a lie. That's a live performance. They gonna have to give me a Tony.
There's nothing they could do for it to help them.
How does being masculine help men who are falsely accused?
It doesn't.
Whether a man is masculine
I don't really get these last couple questions. I'm gonna be honest.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Whether a man is masculine or not, doesn't he still deserve equal justice?
Absolutely.
For sure.
Yes, especially when it comes to his children.
So why is there so much talk about masculinity rather than men's rights?
I would argue there is talk about it. It just doesn't hit the mainstream media.
I think there's a war on masculinity that's going on right now, to be honest with you. They want men to be more submissive and docile in a certain type of way, but the truth is it's kind of like still not attractive to women at the same time. And I'm talking about more of the more attractive women that would be out there that most men desire. They're still into more masculine men.
Why do women often attack a man's masculinity when they don't get what they want?
Exactly. Why is it that women say the man is gay when they reject them.
Because I think that's the heart.
Listen, it goes straight in an insult when it's some sort of inconvenience. Listen, there's just people that, like, I could say this, that, and the third. I mean, obviously, like, if it's something illegal, like, we don't associate. But, like, just embarrassing things. Listen, you may have screwed me over, but that's not my business to go say this, that, and the third, whether it's true or false. But, oh, we broke up. That's why you got a little dick, and that's why this, that, and the third. Oh, you didn't want me? You gay. Oh, she's a fake friend. Oh, she a hoe.
Say the man is gay when they reject them.
Because I think that's the heart of their ego. I would say that looks are the heart of women's ego.
Why are women so welcoming of the gay community, yet so quick to shame a man as gay when they don't get what they want?
That's a fantastic double standard. Yeah, that's true.
It's not that they don't get what they want. It's that they're rejected and they cannot even fathom the thought that maybe they're just not attractive to the guy.
Again, that's just the easiest way to attack a man's pride is, say he's gay or imply that he's
old
weak.
girl in the hat. She started off. I don't know if anyone else is wearing it. Okay, old girl right here. She started off a little rocky. She was smooth. I don't know about that. I'm okay with being property. I don't know about all that. But other than that, she may.
Maybe they're just not attractive to the guy.
Again, that's just the easiest way to attack a man's pride is, say he's gay.
Same thing with Jadena.
Any of those type of things make him feel less than. He's not good enough for you.
It's often said life isn't fair. Who is more likely to be expected to accept injustice, men or women?
I think that's an easy one. Men.
If it's not men, why do we have the expression take it like a man?
Because men are statistically and just biologically more strong than women.
So men are just expected to take abuse?
No, but biologically, men are stronger than women.
What are they going to say? They already have the Duluth model, which automatically presumes that the man is guilty when the police show up.
Because men are supposed to take a lot of shit and handle it and be hard and strong. And that.
Listen, if I'm ever calling the police, we are not in the same room, not even in the same building. Oh, that's tough. On relationship, just that occasions, like, now if you got my kid near you, like, I can't do that. Like, I don't know what you're going, or if, like, yeah, that's the thing about it. Like, whatever property you destroy, like, that's not worth my life.
That's what's accepted of a man. And if you don't do that, then you're considered weak.
Okay. That was burden of performance. Honestly, I thought this was gonna be talking about, in bed. That's what I thought this shit was gonna be about when I read the title. I'm not even gonna lie to you. But, pretty decent. Like, I seen some other ones that, I feel like it would have been better for me to watch those. But this is just the most recent one. But I guess, like, next time I'll just, skim through, like, the first, like, 30 seconds. See what our starting point is. And decide from there. I just wanted to get one of these going. Especially, I haven't seen any music or Cut or Jubilee videos that I could check out instead. But yeah, that's gonna be it for this one. Let me know what y'all think in the comments down below. If you liked the video, I'm sure you drop like, subscribe, share with your friends. Stay tuned for the next one.